You have likely all heard of the masterpiece of a game, Subnautica, on Steam and Xbox, I guess. And to those of you that played the game effectively and freed the Sea Emperor and escaped the planet, well, I tip my Discord mod Fedora to you and offer my experience of doing the same. But if you wanted Subnautica 2, that's not going to happen anytime soon. There is a lot of new drama that I think came out yesterday, mostly, in terms of Subnautica 2. Not to be confused with Subnautica Below Zero, which is a totally different game. So, Subnautica 2 was supposed to have early access coming this year. Like, sometime later this year, we would get early access. This was a huge game. It was going to have co-op. It was going to be a lot like the original, and people were hyped because Subnautica is an amazing game. Well, that early access has now been delayed ambiguously to 2026. And of course, no one's happy about that. Why would we be? I think I've got sort of a grasp on the whole family dynamics here, the, political discussions over Thanksgiving drama sort of thing going on here. So there is a company called Crafton. They made a PUBG, I believe, and they own another game development company called Unknown Worlds. And Unknown Worlds is who makes Subnautica. Now, I guess what the discussion was that Crafton basically told Subnautica, or Crafton basically told Unknown Worlds, we own you guys, but you can make Subnautica. Like, make Subnautica. It's your thing. It's your thing. Like, we own you, but we're not gonna meddle with this, right? We're not gonna stick our fists in your mashed potatoes, if you will. Well, everything was going fine. The game was ready to come out later this year for early access, but then out of nowhere, sometime recently, the dev team, the CEO and the executives or whatever who were working on Subnautica 2 were fired. And a lot of the higher ups of the Unknown Worlds dev team were fired. I mean, this happened really recently. Like, Subnautica 2 is almost like done. Like, the game is there. Like, they just gotta polish some stuff. Well, everyone was confused, including the devs, on why they were let go, especially because this was initially their company, then their company was bought, and then they were just fired, and they've only been making good games. And then the truth came out. The stream of lies was finally cut short. The truth came home, milk and cigarettes in hand. Crafton was supposed to pay a $250 million bonus to the Unknown Worlds dev team if they reached a certain sales goal for 2025. Well, they had not reached that goal yet. The dev team had not reached that goal yet. This is from what I understand. But it was pretty much all but a certainty that once the Subnautica 2 early access dropped later this year, that the dev team would almost certainly reach their quota to receive that $250 million bonus by Crafton. So, what everyone is gossiping about at the lunch table right now is that Crafton has purposely fired the dev team to avoid that bonus and delayed Subnautica early access to 2026 because now they have to, because they don't have the dev team anymore. So, some likely very shady stuff is going on here, and that has all been capped off with the dev team now suing Crafton, basically saying, we were making your game, you knew the game was going to be successful, and you knew you were going to have to pay us a lot of money, and you fired us because of it. So there is some shady stuff going on at Crafton, and people are not happy. There is already a movement to boycott Subnautica 2 in the name of the Unknown Worlds dev team that's kind of been shafted by Crafton. So this really sucks. as a consumer of games, because Subnautica 2 is a game that I legitimately wanted to play, and a lot of people really wanted to play, but it's gonna be a while, guys. It might be a long time because apparently Crafton has put out a statement that now there's some confusion and you know, basically they said, hey, we fired our dev team and now we don't know what the hell we're doing. So go in the ocean yourself, I guess, and explore fish and try to find the biggest thing you can in there, because you're not going to be able to do it in a video game anytime soon. Now, personally, this is kind of fucked up by Crafton. You know, they're obviously trying to help their bottom line, help their company financially, which is the only way the world turns, right? I mean, the only reason we get games is because of the financial aspects of it, right? I mean, the companies have to make money or we would never get a good game, right? But this is taking it a little too far. I mean, this almost blatantly looks like the parent company deliberately trying to avoid rightfully paying money to the dev team that is bringing them all this success. I mean, other than PUBG, Crafton hasn't done anything from what I know. I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of comments on posts about this out there about, you know, the greed of capitalism strikes again, and you know, the elites are fixing everything and we're never going to get a good game because all anyone's concerned about is money. I don't know if that's entirely all true. I think we'll still get the game at some point, and I think it'll still be good. I think they'll figure it out. It's too much money to lose out on, but yeah, it is gonna be a long time because I mean they're suing. The original dev team that was fired is suing them. I mean now the company is trying to make this game and they're also facing a lawsuit at the same time. So this is just going to be all sorts of fucking problems. I mean, I would just throw everyone, just throw them into the Subnautica world, and maybe there they'll fight and figure it out with each other underwater, hopefully. It is all too common for companies to do this. I've seen this happen before in years past before I started making any sort of content. I've seen this happen before. Companies, you know, kind of doing shady stuff behind the scenes like this to avoid paying more money than what they want. And obviously this happens all the time in the world, but I can't remember what game I saw it on a couple years ago, but it was just another just thing like this. It was, you know, hey, if you do your job really well, we'll pay you a bonus. You start to do your job really well, and then they fire you before your bonus, and then they just reap the rewards that you gave them. So, honestly, I'm on the side of the dev team. I hope they sue Crafton into the ground because that's ridiculous. I mean, Crafton is effectively, first off, they're just being assholes, and they're being shady, and they're not paying the dev team what they're owed, and now selfish reason their Subnautica 2 is getting delayed. So screw Crafton. I mean, I don't know what to tell them. Screw Crafton. I hope Unknown Worlds is able to find a way to finish this game, but I'm really worried now because of all this and all the dev team changes and all the drama like that. You know, the game is going to get delayed further and further, and then the community, us, we're going to start putting pressure on them, and we're just like, when are we going to get this game? It's, you know, been 10 years or whatever, and then they're going to finally release it, and it's going to be buggy, and it's going to be bad, it's going to be unfinished, and, yeah, Crafton might have just ruined Subnautica 2 for all of us, so that would be, that is pretty unfortunate, because I love Subnautica, and I actually really like Subnautica Below Zero. And me and some of my friends, we've been looking forward to Subnautica 2 for a while now, but greed. Greed has destroyed our love for games. I would immediately kick the Crafton CEO from my Clash of Clans clan and my Clash Royale clan. I would do both. So, hopefully they figure out something soon. Hopefully the dev team wins their lawsuits, and hopefully Unknown Worlds can detach from Crafton and finish Subnautica 2 for us, and everything will turn out rainbows and happiness. Or this lawsuit will go on for years, we'll never get a game, and we'll all be stuck playing Call of Duty Black Ops 50. Alright, that's all that's happening. Goodbye.